This podcast is brought to you by Racing Thread, Formula One clothing for literally any occasion. Their clothing features subtle, evocative, embroidered designs of your favorite F1 moments. From Ricciardo's McHorsey entrance to Kevin's first pole. From Pierre and Yuki's bromance to Inspector Seb. The moments are endless. Whether you're out to dinner with friends, watching the race at home, or cheering in the grandstands, gone are the embarrassing sponsor logos. Instead, Racing Thread is F1 clothing you're comfortable wearing anywhere. Right now, Dirty Driving listeners can get 15% off Racing Thread's entire range of t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and bucket hats using the code Dirty Driving. Head over to racingthread.com to shop F1 racewear for anywhere. It's chaos. It's a different type of Sunday scary. It's your newest obsession. It's Dirty Driving, a Formula One podcast. Grid penalties confusion, no more. A safety improvement and the end of porpoising as we know it. Let's talk about some regulation changes before kicking the season off. Okay. So I might lose some of you with this one because we're talking about regulations. I know it's everybody's favorite. I kid. Regulations are very important, and there are about 10 key changes to them for the 2023 season that I wanted to talk about to lay some groundwork. So let's do this quick so we can get back to the good stuff that we know and love. Number 1, there are some floor-based flexibility and monitoring measure adjustments that will, in theory, make porpoising a thing of the past. So porpoising was introduced to us last year, which is the bouncing, the up and down motion that today's generation of Formula One cars make due to their underfloor aerostalls, and the car is being pushed away from the ground. So the floor edges or driver ride height has been raised by 15 millimeters. And in turn, the diffuser throat height has also been raised to reflect that 15 millimeter change. The diffuser edge stiffness has been increased, and an additional sensor has been mandated to more effectively monitor porpoising. I know, thrilling stuff. I'm so glad you're here with me for this. I kid again. In response to the frightening accident with Zhou at the British Grand Prix, where his car traveled down the track upside down, technical regulations give us our second change. 1, that a rounded top is required on a roll hoop, which will reduce the chance of the roll hoop digging into the ground during an accident like Zhou's. It also ensures a minimum height for the point of application for the homologation test. In addition, there's a new homologation test that will push the roll hoop forward to test that motion as well. Number 3, as the new era continues to develop, we're dropping another 2 kilograms of total car weight. So in 2022, last year, we were at a total weight of 798 kilograms, which is now in 2023, 796 total kilograms. Number 4, after some testing last year, we've decided to increase the rear view mirror width. So it's been increased 50 millimeters, meaning the drivers will have 200 millimeters of rear view. This was done to increase visibility. Number 5, the number of sprints has doubled from 3 to 6. So we will see sprints at Baku, Austria, Belgium, Qatar, Austin, and Brazil. In addition, the sprint accident damage will now be a fixed amount per team. So it's doubled to $300,000 and serves as the forfeit allowance. Number 6, the number of hours worked by an F1 team across the race weekends will be reduced over the next 2 seasons. So there are 3 restricted periods. The first is Wednesday, which will be cut in half from 8 hours to 4 hours of working time. The second is on Thursday, where the time will be cut from 6 hours to 3 hours. And the third is on Friday, and it'll start an hour earlier with the plan for that extra hour to be cut next year. All of these changes to the time spent are in hopes that it will decrease exhaustion for these teams that travel worldwide, week to week, setting up, breaking down, all the things that go into the race weekend. Number 7, a new quali format has been dropped. A revised quali format will take place at 2 races this year to evaluate future changes leading into 2024. So the drivers will be required in Q1 to use hard tires. Q2 will be for medium tires, and Q3 will mandate the use of soft tires. They are also limiting the amount of dry weather sets that a driver can use from 13 to 11. Number 8, F1 has tightened its rules surrounding gearbox modifications. Changes to gearboxes were previously only permitted to resolve reliability or for cost saving at the start of the season. Modifications are now permitted in case of materials, processes, or proprietary parts becoming available. Documentation will be required as well as approval before the change is made. Then a summary of all the changes will be sent to every other team on the grid. Number 9, grid penalties have been cleared up after last year's Italian Grand Prix. Absolute bumblefuck of confusion. So, as per the FIA states, classified drivers who have accrued more than 15 cumulative grid position penalties or who have been penalized to start the race at the back of the grid will start behind any other classified driver. So, anyone who has a penalty will be put behind anyone who is officially classified as a driver, and these positions will be determined from their qualifying classification. And number 10, there's now more flexibility to cool fuel. So fuel in a car must not be colder than the lowest of either 10 degrees centigrade below ambient temperature or 10 degrees centigrade at any time when the car is running after leaving the competitor's designated garage area. This has been cut from 20 degrees in previous years. Those are all the changes, well, most of the changes that are taking place to regulations in 2023. Again, I know this isn't the most exciting topic, but it's very important when it comes to how the cars actually drive on track, how the weekend works, and safety. So hopefully this gave you guys some insight on the changes that have been made and will continue to be made as the years go on. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Dirty Driving. Until next time, stay dirty. Looking to get the kiddos in your life interested in Formula One? This series includes the ABCs of Racing, which teaches concepts about racing with Red Racer as your guide. The 34-page book is full of gorgeous illustrations inspired by actual tracks and racing situations around the world. The series also includes the book All About Race Cars, a guide to Formula One race cars. Red Racer and Roxy the Engineer walk you through all the ins and outs of F1 in this 40-page book with beautiful illustrations teaching STEM facts about F1 cars. Red Racer Books is on a mission to give kids in the US and beyond a global perspective on sportsmanship, diversity, science, and technology. Right now, Dirty Driving listeners can get 20% off Red Racer Books' entire series using the code Dirty Driving. Head over to redracerbooks.com to buy the kiddos in your life, or the adults, their new favorite book.